Hi there. Recall that in the last video, we learned how to convert the standard form of a parabola into its vertex form. That is, given this equation, we converted this to the vertex form equation. In this video, we'll be doing the opposite, from vertex form to the standard form. Our strategy: square of a binomial. So to recall, in square of a binomial, given a binomial a plus b and we take its square, the outcome for this is given by the square of the first term plus 2 times the first term times the last term plus the square of the last term. Now for the minus version or the difference version, the outcome is just similar. But take note that since we have a minus out here, we also replace the minus in the middle term. So these two are the things that we need to take note in answering the examples later on. So to start, let's have our first example. We are given y equals the quantity x minus 1 squared minus 9. Before we start, feel free to pause the video so that you may try this one first on your own. Okay, good. So let's try this one out. We start by applying square of a binomial out here. That is, we'll have x squared minus 2 times x times 1 plus 1 squared. So this will be our equation. After that, let's simplify this. So we'll have x squared minus 2 times x times 1 will be equal to minus 2x, and then 1 squared is just simply 1. So we'll have this. Adding 1 and negative 9, we'll obtain x squared minus 2x minus 8. Observe that this out here is already in its standard form. And so we had successfully converted this given vertex form of a parabola into the standard form equation. So I hope you got that one correctly. The method is pretty straightforward as long as you know the square of a binomial. Let's move on to the next example. In here, we are given x equals negative times the quantity y plus 2 squared plus 5. Again, feel free to pause the video so that you may try this one first on your own. And so good, let's try this one out. Again, we apply the square of a binomial. So we apply it out here. So we'll have y squared plus 2 times y times 2 plus the square of the last term, which is 2 squared. So we'll have this equation. I just copied x out here and the 5 out here. And next, let's simplify this expression inside. So we'll have y squared plus 2 times y times 2 is 4y plus 2 squared is 4. So we'll have this. And since we have a negative sign out here, we distribute that one. So we distribute this to each of these terms. So we'll have negative y squared minus 4y minus 4. Then adding these two up, we'll obtain negative y squared minus 4y plus 1. observe that this out here is already in its standard form. And so we had successfully converted the given vertex form equation into its standard form equation. So I hope you got that one. And let's now move on to the last example. In here we are given y equals 1/2 times the quantity 2 minus x squared minus 2. So before we try this, again feel free to pause the video so that you may try this one first on your own. Okay, good. So let's solve this one. We start again by the square of a binomial out here. But take note first that this might seem like it's not in the vertex form, which it really isn't. But take note that 2 minus x out here can be written as negative times x minus 2. So if we take the square, what happens is by loss of exponent, so we distribute the 2 out here and out here. And we know that negative 1 squared is just equal to 1. So we'll only be left with x minus 2 squared, which is, if we replace this one in here, we already have the vertex form. So either way, we'll just have the same outcome. So we'll just consider this one. So clearing this space out and applying the square of binomial for real this time, we'll have 2 squared minus 2 times x plus x squared. So this will be our expression. Then simplifying this inside, we'll have 4 minus 4x plus x squared. Since we have a 1/2 out here, we distribute this to each of these terms. So we'll be left with 2, since 4 over 2 is 2, minus 2x plus 1/2 x squared. Observe that since we have positive 2 out here and negative 2 out here, these two cancels out, and so we'll be left with rearranging these terms. So we can move this out here. We'll have 1/2 x squared minus 2x. Observe that this out here is already in its standard form. So this out here is the final answer for this problem, since we had successfully converted the vertex form into its standard form. So that's it for this example. To formally end this, here's an exercise that you can work on. So we're given x equals negative 2 times the quantity y minus 5 squared plus 49. So the trick here is just similar to our 3 examples. Square of a binomial, expand, simplify, then combine the like terms to obtain the general form or the standard form of a parabola. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed and learned a lot from this one. Feel free to comment down below if you have an answer to this exercise, as well as any suggestions and recommendations that you have for this video, this playlist, and this channel in general. So yeah, that's it, and that's all for this video.